All right, folks, what we have here is the beginning of a tarantula in the making. It's our Magnum 44 twin cat, super thick, super strong, triple thick hull, and we're gonna be transforming it into a tarantula. It's got our awesome 300 amp ESCs in it, and our 4882 6-pole motors, but our client wanted something different, so we're gonna give it to him. Stay tuned. As I said, as nice as these electronics are, they're coming out, and some of these are going in. All right, this thing is gutted now. I've completely stripped the electronics out. I even got the pedestals out. The old ESCs were on. Next thing I'm gonna do is epoxy reinforce the motor mounts. We do a great job putting them in double thick, but I'd like to reinforce them because I just don't want the customer to have any problems with these big 1520 motels. All right, I epoxy reinforced these motor mounts. We're just waiting for the to cure and go on to the next phase. The epoxy cured really well on these motor mounts. I am very pleased. Next phase is remove the Teflon liners from the drives. All right, with some painstaking work, I removed the drives and I removed the Teflon liners. Those can become problems. They look a little chewed on the ends where I was pulling them out, but everything's fine inside. Next, we start putting this boat back together with all our fine electronics that the customer selected. First thing, go these motors. What I'm gonna do is put a drop of oil on each set of bearings. So these motors get a fresh start. Most people will not tell you to do that because most people neglect the motor bearings. That's so important. You lose so much speed and efficiency with messed up with not looping your bearings. There's a number of people that run boats that I'll tell you have never oiled the bearings on the motor throughout the life of the whole boat they've had it. Never once oiled the bearings. All right, now, here we go now. We got these motors bolted in securely. Now it's time to get these ESCs wired up in series plugs, 2 on each ESC. I already programmed them on the computer. Let's go. All right, now, I got these ESCs wired up in series and stuck down. We've also got this steering set up. Push-pull cable, not fully set up, but we got the cables ran and everything flossed through. Not much more left, but we still have some work. Now I've done a hatch lock delete. I removed the hatch locks and filled the holes with silicone. That tape is over there to restrain it until it dries. No hatch locks because this thing's gonna be high speed and hatch locks tend to break. When you've got this in here in the hole, it puts a lot of stress on the hole when the hatch wants to come off in a high speed crash. That's why we just use tape. Let that hatch fly off. We then in turn include the hatch lock kit when we send the boat back to the customer because silicone, he can just pop right out and put the hatch locks on if he wants to use this thing as a sport cruiser boat in the future. And that sums up the inside. We got the hoses routed. We got everything soldered up, mounted and bolted in, loomed and harnessed up. Check this out. That's why we call this tarantula. Looks like a tarantula. Both the water lines and the motor wires look like a tarantula. This customer is going to have a great time, and I'm sure he'll be very pleased. And so will you if you order one of these totally awesome boats. Check out that steering. So awesome. So trick. All the trimmings and accoutrements. And that sums up this build. This Magnum 44 Special Edition Tarantula build with 1520 1650 Castle motors on our Oxidine by Castle 8S ESCs. This thing is going to absolutely rip. You can order yours today. Just inquire within. We put our blood, sweat, and tears. Those are blood drops from me cutting my hand. This thing is going to be nice and the customer is going to be happy. Remember to subscribe to our channel. Smash that like button. You get to see all these cool builds from the boat dealer that actually builds boats himself and actually runs them. Have a great day.